let's get into the game so we stop focusing on my inability to do math. Where we have, spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Site Delta, for Dragon Kite Gaming, the red Zerg player, Dark. His opponent in the lower right, the blue Zerg. Terran. Man, words are hard. The blue Terran. It is GuMiho. I actually, like, mildly embarrassed to admit this. I looked at GuMiho's base, and my brain went yellow. And I had to stop and think and correct myself and figure out what color GuMiho was. And it took significantly more time than I wanted it to. And that's what I was focused on, which is definitely why I said Zerg. So, to not make one really dumb mistake, I made another slightly less dumb mistake. Oh, but there's no mistakes here. GuMiho, he's a smart thinker. You know, he's a smart man, and he says Dark is really good at the video game. What if I just proxy 3-racks him? Now, a couple of problems for him. We do have the ramp here up to the natural in Dark Space. It's going to make it a little bit harder in some ways. You know, you can't just set up a bunker anywhere. You got to be a little bit more picky. But there's plenty of space up here now that I'm looking at it. Another thing, the reason probably why we're seeing GuMiho go for this, figuring out where the proxy spots on the maps are can be a little bit tough. But Dark's Overlord's going to spot it. He's going to get advance notice, and he's going to go ahead and pull the drones down to fight this out. The first bunker is on the way. GuMiho immediately gives it up. He's going to cancel that bunker. Second bunker is going to start up, but obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. And until another Marine comes here, he's going to have to cancel that one too. He starts up a third bunker, but the drones, they're going for the Marines now, trying to dive around. They catch 2 Marines. Beautiful job. One of them escapes, but the SCVs stop to fight, and they are going down. 3 drones have fallen, but now it looks like all of the SCVs are going to go down. Well, at least most of them. No bunker is getting up. Dark's going to have a spine crawler. I don't know if he's realized how many Raxes he's up against. GuMiho's going to go ahead and lift one to kill this Overlord. Supply blocking the Zerg in this situation can be pretty brutal. Dark's actually already supply blocked. He cannot build anything else. So as he loses this Overlord, he's going to need to start up a second one. That's 100 minerals at a crucial point right now for the Zerg. That's pretty brutal. I mean, he's very supply blocked. He's going to start up a third one even. He wants to make sure he is not supply blocked at all. But all the Raxes are going to float home. GuMiho calling it quits on this proxy 3-racks very early. Now, proxy 2-racks, you can get away with this, and it's not too bad. But proxy 3-racks, I mean, that is a lot of investment for GuMiho to not actually do anything with. But I guess the nice thing is he can just make a beautiful little barracks wall here. I don't know. This feels very good for Dark. I mean, as we can see, he's droning up pretty happily. I imagine he'll take a third fairly soon if he can get a confirmation on this natural. GuMiho's just out on the map. He's going to be able to catch a couple of lings here. I mean, until ling speed is done and there's like a big group of lings, it's not that much of a threat. 8 Marines can hold their own pretty well. But GuMiho, man, he's going for a third CC. This is actually so funny. The proxy 3-racks into a 3CC build is pretty beautiful. And he's looking for that third, but Dark's not giving it to him. I like this move from Dark. He's like, no, I'll just drone on 2 bases. That's cool, actually. I'm kind of fine with it. And if anybody was going to just be okay hanging out on a, I don't know, slightly weird, less than standard economy, it would be Dark. Now, here's a question for GuMiho. What do you do about this wall? Because right now, this is a full wall. You have to lift the barracks to get in and out. I guess that wouldn't be the end of the world, but it feels like an awful lot of work anytime you want to leave your base. Layers on the way for Dark. It looks like he is going to try to take that third as the The Marines have left. Link speed is done, so these Marines chilling in the middle of the map are actually very much in danger of dying here in about 3, 2, ooh, dark. Diverting GuMiho, I think just getting very lucky there. I was dangerously close to GuMiho losing all these Marines. Now they have some friends. They have a wall, so they can't get fully surrounded. Dark's not going to want to attack into that, I think. Oh, what is this? What is this we have going on? What were we just talking about? I think GuMiho was hanging out in chat just now, and he heard us say the words battle and cruiser before this game started. He was waiting for Dark. He was like, oh, you know, who's gonna cast this one? Hopped into chat. And what did he hear? He heard BCs, and he was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea a lot. And now we've got double battlecruiser production out of GuMiho. Now, fortuitously for Dark, because I do not think he scouted any of this, and all he's seen so far is GuMiho building Marines. He's got a tech lab, which isn't actually building anything. That was a fake. He had started an upgrade just so Dark would see it. I think Dark's smarter than that. He scouted again, and he saw no upgrade. But Dark's got a Spire on the way. But does he know? Does he know? Scan goes down, sees the lair, does not see any of the tech, though. Both the Spire and the Bait Nest are down on the low ground here. And it looks like it's going to be BC Marine for now. This is so interesting. Okay, GuMiho with the engineering bay as well. I don't know what...
You want a piece of me, boy?
I don't know what he's going to go into after this. It feels like he is going to head towards Bio. Building a couple of Hellions with this kind of just in case to help against the Lings, I suppose. 11 mutas on the way. Oh, that is like the worst thing GuMiho could want to do is teleport across the map. Unless he waits long enough for the mutas to leave before he takes a fight. In which case, this gets really weird. Because I thought those mutas were just going to go kill these BCs pretty quickly. But now they're on the other side of the map. GuMiho's going to take his base, and I think both players are about to lose some units. I don't know, dude. There's Marines here. GuMiho is very well set up for this. He is going to lose some SCVs. Does he just not attack with these? Are they just going to hide in the corner? I was really hoping he'd wait for teleport again. He's thinking about it. It's actually almost off cooldown. It's about 3/4 of the way there. So I think he feels like he can get them out of harm's way in time. That's a cute move. Oh, but at the same time, Dark is coming in. He wants to go attack, but he decides against it. 10 drones going down. The Queen's here, though, putting out a lot of pressure. Yamato is done. GuMiho could take down a couple of these Queens, but I think he wants to kill the mutas instead, because keeping that number low is a little bit nicer. And then he can just teleport out of there. Boom, out he goes. The Marines, though, what are they doing on creep? There are Banelings here, GuMiho. Be careful. He is going to stem off creep. Oh, but he's got a split. Trying to split. Where's the Marine micro challenge? He overstimmed those units. Now the Lings actually just picked them apart. And here's a real problem for GuMiho, is he does not have a lot of anti-muta left. He is repairing up this BC, so he'll have the double BC. He's got 2 more on the way. So finally getting into BCs 3 and 4. This has become a very interesting game. A little bit hard to read like who's winning. The thing is, a lot of Stim Marines still coming out of GuMiho. Those are strong. I don't know if you guys knew this. They're powerful units. And these mutas need to be a little bit careful. 18 mutas out, though, and I like the Widowmine choice here. Guys, GuMiho stealing strats from Streamer. If you guys weren't here before this game, I was talking about how much fun BC Widowmine is. I'm just saying, I think GuMiho is paying attention. Oh, Dark forcing a couple of cancels. Actually, that's a straight-up kill on that second one. He's got some burrowed Banes around. Oh, you cheeky boy. I love it. Looks like maybe some Hellions in the meantime. Got a couple of drone kills. Both boys on a very nice economy. GuMiho definitely needs a 4th base. But right now he needs to defend his main because this starport is possibly just going to go down. Fusion core next on the docket. Now the Yamato's coming out. The starport will fall, but that is 4 dead mutas immediately. BCs are chasing. The mutas running away. There's no turret here. Oh, okay, the turret's up here. We'll get some good hits as those mutas leave. 8 corruptors now on the way. 17 mutas still in the sky. The air army of Dark is going to be very powerful. I'd also love to see him get into some Vipers, but he hasn't started his Hive yet. This is actually a bit, not really necessarily what I'd expect out of Dark. Uh-oh. Oh, he's trying to draw him in. He's trying to draw him in. Actually, just as I can win this fight, I don't need those Banes. Okay. Well, he unburrows the Banes and just groups them with his army. That's a beautiful move. But he kills all those Marines. GuMiho trying to get a defense up. The BC is going to get bullied away by the Corruptors. BCs do not have Yamato either. There's 1 Siege Tank here, 1 Widow Mine. But I don't know if there's enough for GuMiho to actually take this fight. His army has not been consistently good here. The Widow Mine, very, very nice. Oh, BC tries to teleport away. It doesn't get out of there, though. That one will escape. And it looks like most of the mutas have died, but also most of GuMiho's army has died. So as fun as that was, Dark handles it beautifully. It was a little bit weird there. The 2 BCs teleporting to the back of Dark's base as the mutas were flying across the map. It felt like maybe GuMiho had a good chance, but I think moving through the middle with the Marines ended up really backfiring. There was a lot of Lings and Banes for Dark. And GuMiho ended up getting cleaned up there. Traded okay, but he just kept getting pushed back and kept getting his stuff reset. His army reset, I should say. Yeah, Dark doing a great job keeping GuMiho's Marine count down. We're getting into game 2 here. Going to Oceanborn. Oceanborn. Gotta be careful. Certain things rhyme with born that I don't want to say on stream. Take me by the horns. Feed me candy corns. I don't know. All I can think of now is Shorn. I can't figure out how to work it into a lyric. Let's just get into the game before I really think about this too much. Game 2 going to be on Oceanborn, spawning in the upper left-hand corner. It is Dragon Kitesy Gaming's Dark. His opponent in the lower right, GuMiho. Busting out the builds in that last game. I also want to remind everybody, because I forgot until just now, that game started with proxy 3 racks that did very little, killed a few drones, and forced a spine crawler. And then GuMiho just left with the Marines and with the barrackses. And got into, honestly, a pretty good spot off the back of the double BC. But that game was weird. Part of me feels like GuMiho was kind of winging that game. And this is an interesting thing with a tournament like this. Obviously, these guys want to win, right? They're not going to come out here and play, you know, bogus strats and throw games. No, they want to win. There's money at the end of the day. And also, I mean, they're competitors. They just want to win. You know, they don't log onto ladder hoping to lose. They play these games to win. So they're going to try, but also, this isn't GSL. You know, this isn't DreamHack. This isn't IEM. Or, you know, a massive tournament going on. It's a weekly. they can bust out some interesting strats. Maybe GuMiho's been thinking about some BC strats, and he just wanted to put it to the test against Dark. You know, maybe he's been playing against other Zergs. He's like, I want to see how Dark deals with this. And we get to kind of see how it works out for GuMiho. Or maybe he was like, I wonder if I could do this off the back of it. Maybe we'll see a version of that build in GSL soon. Like a kind of like a better version. One that's thought out a little more. It's hard to say with GuMiho if he's fully thought out every aspect of the build or if he's just winging it. And he's just like, yeah, actually, I think this is a good idea. Let's try it. With this game, Dark was trying to sneak Lings across the map, but it's a nice wall here for GuMiho because he's going for the 2 racks Reaper, which I feel like we haven't seen from him in a little bit. I haven't seen much of this actually since the new patch. So GuMiho going to see if it still works for him. Poking and prodding with the Reapers. It is the standard 3 Reaper. Oh, no, 4 Reaper. Hold on. Slightly less standard 4 Reaper into the 2 add-ons. Speed is getting pretty close to being done here for Dark, but he doesn't have a ton of Lings to go punish this. 6 Lings actually really can't kill 4 Reapers. Dark just going to take a 3rd base. All right. Good old macro. I think Oceanborn has given us some very solid macro games so far. I feel like it does lead to a potential to, I don't know, be a bit aggressive. It's got a very straightforward path from 1 natural to 1 3rd base that I think is really interesting. And I don't know, I kind of wonder if we'll see units being rallied across. I feel like pushing onto somebody who's gone for a 3rd base when you're on 2 bases could be extremely powerful on this map. But like most of the maps in this pool, it's also fairly large, so it's not like you have a quick path. But yeah, we've gotten some good macro games on this map so far. I love learning the new maps with the pro players. It's always so interesting. I feel like people have very particular ideas about maps, especially when they first come out. You start thinking, oh, that's a Terran map against Zerg. You know, Zerg has to veto that, and oh, that map's good for this or that or the other thing. But then a lot of pro players kind of don't subscribe to that, and I'll see players who won't veto maps that every other Zerg vetoes, especially somebody like Dark. He'll just play on maps that other Zergs are like adamant or terrible, and he'll win on them because he's got a few strats. They usually work out pretty well. I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to see how the maps kind of fall out at the end of the day. Now Dark doing a good job scouting here is going to see this move out, or Overlord biting the dust for it. There's a lot of Marines on the way, but Dark, I think Dark was planning on attacking because he's building a bunch of Overlords. He's got Roach Speed coming out. So he's just going to have to build a bunch of Roaches to defend this, and I feel like he should be okay here. Gumi has got to be a little bit careful. Gonna send those Reapers forward, sees the Roaches and Queens, and decides to back up. I'm guessing doesn't have a scan because he's standing on creep and not scanning. He's gonna pull back and go for a drop. There are 2 Overlords up here though, spotting for the drop. Dark. He's not gonna be in the dark about this. Ooh, Dark's got 1-1 on the way. I thought he was going to go for a big attack, but I guess not. Usually the double upgrades implies that you want to go for some macro stylings. GuMiho, though, building 2 extra Raxes before he takes the 3rd base. He's posturing like he wants the 3rd base, but he's not taking it yet. Okay, there it is. It's not that late, and it is going to be on location, but Yeah, he's definitely going to lean in towards an attack, even building Marines straight out of these naked barracks. He's going to start pushing through the middle. What did I say, guys? You get a straightforward path, third base to natural. In this case, GuMiho's going to attack from his third location and push in towards the natural of dark. Bringing the tanks with them. The Roaches got to be a little bit careful, but some Ravagers already morphing. There are some nice high ground positions here. I think a Ravager might be able to hit that from the high ground. GuMiho's just going to move up to the high ground. Such a bold move, stimming on top of these Roaches and Ravagers, trying to target down the juicy Ravagers and gunning these Roaches down. The +1 attack on these Marines, doing wonders. He's like, I don't even need the tanks. But he is going to need those tanks. He's going to have to pull back. Ooh, eating some biles here. The tanks pulling up on creep and sieging up. GuMiho continuing to rally across the map. My God, I feel prescient sometimes talking about what can happen. It's almost like I understand this game a little bit. And Dark, he's just trying to get more units out. Morlings on the way. Roaches and Ravagers coming out as well. He just needs stuff right now. He needs to stop this push from GuMiho. But GuMiho, he is just continuing to rally across. More medevac showing up. Another siege tank is going to join up here. His fourth base in some trouble. Oh, but Dark's going to try to go for it. While that one tank was unsieged, there's some Marines on the low ground. Biles taking down siege tanks and medevacs at the same time. The Marine count is dwindling. And GG gets called as GuMiho loses his whole fighting force with that rally push. He just had nothing back at home to fall back on. Dark, with way too many units out, overwhelms the push and takes the 2-0 victory. GG.